Let me tell you a story about how I cured my shin splints. So when I first started getting into running, I did this One Punch Man workout. For those of you who aren't familiar, One Punch Man is an anime, and this guy, pretty much the premise of the show is he just dominates. He destroys everyone in one punch. And it's a really funny show. I enjoy the heck out of it. And what he did to get to that point where he could hit and destroy everything with one punch is he would run every single day. This was his workout. He would run a 10K. He would do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 sit-ups. So that was it. And so the kind of joke throughout the show is that, like, really, that's all you did? But he did that every single day, and now he's like the most dominant hero ever. Well, I was spending some time in Boulder Creek, California with my uncle, and I had several weeks to myself, and so I thought, well, why not try this? Let me see if I can try and, do this workout every single day. And I didn't do it every day but for about 2 or 3 weeks, I did this 10K, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, 5 days a week, so through the weekdays. So I'd get up early and I'd go for my run and then come back and do the squats, push-ups, and sit-ups. And the first week I felt amazing. I felt like the man because I was, doing this workout most days of the week. And then what happened is I got the absolutely terrible and forbidden shin splints. And I had never experienced this as a runner. I wasn't that experienced as a runner at this point, but I was doing volume I had never done before. And so I started Googling and looking into it. What do I need to do for shin splints? And there's a bunch of different opinions that you're going to be stuck with them for the rest of your life, or it takes like 6 to 12 months to fix it. And so I took some time off. But when I took some time off, I made this key switch, and this is the thing that I think makes all the difference when it comes to shin splints and other potential injuries as a runner. This is what I think's made the biggest difference, because since doing that One Punch Man routine and workout after I recovered from my shin splints, I've done some, I think, somewhat crazy things. I've done 10 marathons in 10 days, several 100-milers, a 50-miler course record, high volume weeks. I think my biggest week is 212 miles in 1 week. And I'm injury free throughout all of this. And so this is one of the things that I think has made the biggest difference, and it's not stretching, it's not strength training, even though I think those are great. The big thing that's made the difference for me in preventing injuries is barefoot shoes. And so I want to be clear on something. I don't really run barefoot or run in these minimalist shoes. What I do is I walk around in these entirely. So they're my day shoe, they're my hiking or walking shoe. But I run with a lot of support. I'm an ultra guy, so still kind of a minimal neutral shoe. But the thing that I think's made a big difference is that I've walked around in like barefoot shoes for I think 4 years now. So when I was getting shin splints, I started looking into how I could prevent this in the future. I needed to take some time off. But what I started to do is I got some Vivo barefoot shoes, which is a great brand. There's plenty of different brands out there. But what I did was start walking around in these. I wasn't running, I wasn't really training, but to be honest, the first week or so in barefoot shoes was kind of tough because my calf was sore, my feet felt really tired. And here's the way I look at barefoot shoes and why they're so important is we pretty much all humans grow up nowadays in modern days. They grow up in these shoes that have all this arch support, all this cushion. And I think this is an issue because what happens is your feet muscles aren't going to develop as much. It's like, for example, if you were in an arm cast for like 8 weeks, your arm is going to atrophy because you're not using those muscles. And I believe the same thing has happened with our feet. So there's a bunch of reasons why injuries can happen. But if your foundation, your foot, isn't well developed, of course you're going to have issues. Of course you're going to have hip pain, back pain. I think it's shin splints. I mean, you can work on your form and there's some other things, but at the end of the day, if your foundation isn't set, then all those other things I don't think are going to help you as much as having developed feet. And so I'm a big believer in minimalist and barefoot shoes. Fortunately, they're a little bit more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing nowadays. 4 years ago, they were just kind of boring and rubber looking, and I mean, the ones I have on now are kind of clown shoey, but I think they're a great option because, or really even a necessity, because this is what's going to keep your feet muscles developed, help them, stay strong, so then you avoid these things like shin splints. And so I haven't had shin splints in probably the past 4 years since that original experience at my uncle's place in California. So I think this makes all the world of a difference when it comes to staying healthy. There's other things to talk about, but this is something I don't see mentioned as often as I believe it should be. So if you're dealing with injuries, if you're dealing with shin splints, or you don't feel like you're strong enough to support your volume, there's some things out there to consider like yoga and strength training. But its own version of strength training itself is wearing minimalist and barefoot shoes. So I hope this helps you as a runner and avoid those injuries, because there's nothing more heartbreaking than ramping it up in volume and then having to pull out because of something like shin splints. So I hope this helps you, and I'll see you on the trails.